wearing a metal bikini changed to a giant slug about to die, I keep coming back for more. Only a man like George could bring us whole new worlds, populated by vivid, extraordinary characters, and providing Mark and Harrison and myself with enough fan mail and even a small, merry band of stalkers. It's lovely, keeping us entertained for the rest of our unnatural lives. George, the fact that you made me into a little doll that my first husband could stick pins into, a shampoo bottle where people could twist my head off and pour liquid out of my neck, lather up with Leia and you'll feel like a princess yourself. And yes, the little Pez dispenser so that my daughter Billy could pull my head back and pull a wafer out of my neck every time she doesn't want to do her homework. I suppose I don't mind. And though amongst your many possessions you have owned my likeness, lo, all these years, so that every time I look in the mirror, I have to send you a check for a couple of bucks. Not to mention, you had the unmitigated gall to let that chick, the new girl who plays my mother, Queen Armadillo, or whatever her name is, she wears a new hairstyle and outfit practically every time she walks through a door. I mean, I bet she even got to wear a bra, even though you told me I couldn't because there was no underwear in space. I'm only slightly bitter because you, my formerly silent friend, are an extraordinary talent, and let's face it, an artist, the like of which is seen perhaps once in a generation, who helps define that generation, and who deserves every award I now spend the latter half of my Leia-laden life helping to hurl your way. Conclusion, Your Honor, I hope I slept with you to get the job, because if not, who the hell was that guy?
The mercenary, whose loyalties are not always certain.
Look, I ain't in this for your revolution, and I'm not in it for you, Princess. I expect to be well paid. I'm in it for the money.
He travels with comrades defined by their loyalty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chewbacca.
This mercenary is a shapeshifter with mysterious alliances separate and apart from the quest, who often challenges our hero's beliefs.
You don't believe in the Force, do you?
Kid, I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything.
In the end, though, his devotion to our hero makes him heroic too.
Hey, Luke. May the Force be with you.
For us, George Lucas created Han Solo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harrison Ford.
Thank you very much. What a pleasure it is to be here tonight. So many old friends, so many great memories. George's original notes for Han Solo and his introduction in the bar scene say, "Make Han like Bogart. Freelance tough guy for hire." I'm thinking perfect, yeah. But George also wanted him to have green skin and large gills. Okay, bit of a stretch. But when he was casting, I couldn't even get a meeting because I'd worked with him on American Graffiti, and George wanted new faces, and apparently I was an old face, even then. Then as a favor, right, he asked me to help him out reading the other actors who were testing for various parts, and somehow nobody was perfect, so they threw me a bone. And of course, I'm so grateful, and it was a jump start for my career, and blah, 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 blah. You know. These tribute things are great, you know, they're fantastic. But they tend to kind of gloss over the little conflicts that people have when they shoot a movie. I mean, it's natural enough. And to be fair, I did say to George, George, you can type this shit, but you can't say it. And that's the year he gets nominated for an Oscar for Best Screenplay. Well, what do I know? But the thing that stands out to me about Star Wars, at least for the earlier, funnier chapters of the saga, is George's genius for understanding, and I mean this sincerely, his understanding of human nature. The relationships of the characters in the film have stood the test of time. And tonight, we all stand here, time-tested, for you, George. What a difference you've made in my life. I love you. Congratulations, my friend.
George, congratulations from all of us. This is James Earl Jones, and these are the actors who brought your legend to life.
I consider myself to be very lucky because I think that, you know, I am the generation that was probably most influenced by Star Wars. With any movie, you want your opening of the film to be that transitionary period where you take your audience into the movie. Star Wars did it in probably the most spectacular way I could ever imagine. The camera tilts down to the surface of a planet, and then the rebel blockade runner comes flying in from camera right with those great laser beams.
Then this other ship comes in overhead, and it just takes you to a whole other level.
I was instantly transported as that ship came in. It felt like and sounded like coming in over my head.
Finally, you saw the big blue engines at the end of it. George did something that I had never seen done before in the movies. He made the screen bigger than the motion picture theater we were sitting in. And that one shot made a promise that George kept for the next 450 shots.
Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
The Force?
The Force.
That was always one of the most flamboyant things about the world of Star Wars. Things were just so huge. The world had a reality and it had a scale. It had the most mind-blowing scale, more so than just about anything I'd ever seen before.
And he gave the audience a memory that will last them for the rest of their lives. And he did it with a kind of Shakespearean drama, kind of Shakespearean aplomb.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No, I am your father.
You want to blow people away, you know, and nobody's ever done it better than George. For me, it was the visual set pieces that I remember from each film. In Return of the Jedi, it was the speeder bike chase through the woods. You know, it seemed to me that each film had this great visual set piece embedded in it.
Keep on that one, I'll take these two.
The original idea was a story, ultimately, of salvation, of revealing that the villain is actually the hero.
George Lucas gave the world a gift. We didn't even know he wanted it until he gave it to us. And I think he did the greatest thing anyone's ever done since H.G. Wells and Jules Verne to the genre of science fiction. He made it for all of us, and it will be there forever.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Who knew? Who knew that Star Wars would have such an impact? Well, I did. Because I was in the second film. And the first had already taken off by the time Lando Calrissian, the super space stud, arrived on the scene. We could do an entire evening on the impact of Star Wars. The toys, the lunchboxes, and the pajamas, the disco soundtrack. But let's just have some fun with the following.
Let's go out with something